Okay, so another not ready for YouTube video. I had in a previous video said that the neck on the big red was sweet, and at the time I think I was being kind of nostalgic. I'll get into that in a second. It does have more lacquer than I'm used to, and with the maple top especially, lacquer at the top and the bottom instead of the dark woods that are not smoother, because the grain can actually get damaged maybe easier, or definitely more susceptible to heat and drying out and that kind of thing, and cracking maybe, blah blah blah. But so yeah, a little bit more gummy back here than I'm used to, and which at the time I didn't really notice. And I'm not going to do a sound comparison because I've played this guitar before and the microphone makes it sound terrible, so there's no real point in probably doing that. But the thing I didn't notice at the time that I've noticed now is that basically it's the exact same neck as the Telecaster, except this one has more of a satin finish and less lacquer on the top, which is why I'm going on and on about how it has all this gray distressing. And I'll try and film it like this time again. It really doesn't show up on this camera very well at all, but it's there. So maybe this neck isn't quite so unique as I'd like it to be, except that since it's older, it has more of a satin finish. So again, it's still basically the same thickness, which stands to reason because they're basically both made in Mexico models, which means that's just an upgrade of this, even though they're different, one's a T and one's an S, but same production ethic or whatever. And so, should I treat this guitar as, rare or not? I don't know yet. Again, I was kind of going through a schizoid thing where I want to hang on to the neck, but the neck is not really that unique, but it is older, so it has less lacquer, so that makes it better for me, even though the body is still heavy. And that body is almost as heavy. They're both heavy. They're both Mexican made Fenders. So there's that. So blah, blah, blah. So I've been typing all this in the comments. This is literally like an 8 or 9 pound guitar, and that's about the same. So finally, the newer one showed up, and it's sort of the less frills model than the Buddy Holly Special. So what's different about the 57 to this one, I'm not entirely sure. It does have one damage there and a small damage there, if you can see it. And otherwise was, pretty much new. And it does have kind of wood grain through here that makes it look like it's kind of aged, but isn't. But it makes kind of shadows in certain spots, which is kind of odd because you think something's wrong with it and then you realize it's just the wood grain. But it does have quite a bit of lacquer. But I've been running around telling everybody that Telecaster has a baseball bat neck, and it actually doesn't. This has a much thicker neck. Okay, I got it backwards. Let's see if you can see how much thicker a 50s neck is. Not really, kind of hard to tell. But it is shaped slightly different, so it does have more girth, and it has a ton of lacquer. So I don't know if the 57 would have less lacquer. They gave me some pamphlet saying, oh, lacquer is what we use, blah blah, that's what we did traditionally, blah blah blah. And it looks like it still has a plastic nut, so cheaper there. It has the same really recessed or whatever string tree as the Telecaster instead of the raised one like the player Strat. It has the old style tuning pegs though, like the same as the Jaguar, which you can't really see because of the poster. So it does have different tuning pegs. They're smaller and they kind of form to your fingers a little bit. And at first I didn't want to stay in tune at all, but after I let the strings stretch out for a bit. I pretty much ran through at least half of the songbook this morning, so I gave it a pretty good workout. So I don't know how much I want to try and record this one. For some reason, it's not making any noise. Oh, shoot. I know what the problem is. Well, if I try to do a recording, maybe I'll. Is that? Nope. What is wrong here?